In 800 BC, in the heart of ancient Greece, there lived a civilization that never spoke a word. For decades, they had lived in a sacred brotherhood devoted to the worship of numbers. In their community, Pythagoras taught his disciples that numbers were the key to understanding the universe. They called this new way of thinking mathematics, and those who dedicated themselves to its study became known as mathematicians. For more than 300 years, Pythagoras and his followers remained hidden away from the outside world, worshipping numbers in total silence. But when they died, their ideas didn't die with them. The ancient Greeks adopted their techniques to become the most powerful civilization of the ancient world. It's quite an unbelievable story. So let me tell you how it all began. It all started with one man, Pythagoras, a philosopher from the island of Samos who was born around 570 BC. Pythagoras traveled throughout Greece seeking wisdom from the greatest thinkers of the time, but he felt something was missing. He yearned for something more, some deeper understanding of the world around him. Then everything changed when he met a man named Thales, who was regarded by the Greeks as the first true philosopher. Together, Pythagoras and Thales would travel the countryside solving problems by applying logic and reason, laying the foundations of what would become known as the scientific method. When Thales died, Pythagoras continued on his own, eventually settling down on the southern Italian coast in the city of Croton. There he gathered around him a group of disciples who shared his thirst for knowledge. These men came from different social classes. Some were rich and others poor. Some were young and others old enough to be their fathers. They left behind their families and their old lives and devoted themselves entirely to learning. Together they formed a special bond, a brotherhood united by their love of wisdom. They lived together in a communal house where all possessions were shared. They ate simple meals and wore plain robes. Their days were filled with study and discussion, and their nights with song and celebration. This community would come to be known as the Pythagorean Brotherhood. Life in the Brotherhood was not easy. The members had to take a vow of silence. This meant that for years they could only communicate through writing. Although this made it hard to socialize, Pythagoras believed that speaking too much led to meaningless chatter and that true wisdom could only be found in silence. Speaking of Pythagoras, he was not very talkative to begin with. According to legend, he barely uttered a word during his entire life. He believed that since numbers held the secrets of the universe, why bother talking about anything else? This is why the Pythagorean Brotherhood valued mathematics above all other subjects. Their dedication to mathematics began with their everyday lives. Every day they measured lines, surfaces, and angles while building and fixing things around their home. They studied how shadows moved and changed shape at different times of the day, and how the stars moved across the night sky. By observing these natural phenomena, they realized that there were patterns everywhere in nature, and that these patterns could be expressed in numbers. Pythagoras was the first to realize just how powerful numbers really are. He is credited with discovering many mathematical truths, including the famous Pythagorean, which states that in a right triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. But Pythagoras did more than just discover new mathematical truths. He developed a whole new way of thinking about the world. Pythagoras and his followers believed that numbers were more than just abstract symbols. Instead, they believed that numbers were real, that they were the building blocks of reality itself. The Pythagoreans believed that everything in the universe could be explained by numbers. They saw numbers as the key to understanding the world around us, and they believed that by studying numbers, we could unlock the secrets of the universe itself. Pythagoras even went so far as to say that the whole universe is nothing but a musical scale, a harmony of numbers. While most of Pythagoras' discoveries have been lost to time, one of his ideas survived and continues to influence the world today. His followers spread his teachings all over Greece, and eventually throughout the entire Mediterranean. This led to the creation of the first schools of mathematics, where students from all over the region came to study the secrets of numbers. The most famous of these schools was in Athens, where Plato founded the Academy, one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world. Over the centuries, the legacy of the Pythagoreans continued to grow. Their ideas were studied and expanded upon by some of the greatest minds in history, such as Euclid, Archimedes, and Ptolemy. Today, the Pythagorean Brotherhood may be long gone, but their impact on our world is undeniable. We use their ideas every day, whether we realize it or not. When we build a house or design a bridge, when we explore the mysteries of the cosmos or develop new technologies, we are standing on the shoulders of the giants who came before us. The Pythagorean Brotherhood may have lived in silence, but their contributions to human knowledge have echoed through the ages and continue to shape our world today. But wait, there's more to the Pythagorean Brotherhood than meets the eye. While they were known for their dedication to mathematics and their belief in the power of numbers, they also had some pretty interesting beliefs and practices that set them apart from other ancient civilizations. For starters, the Pythagoreans believed that the soul was immortal. They believed that when a person died, their soul continued to live on and that it could be reborn into another body. They also believed that the soul was actually trapped inside the body while it was alive, and that the purpose of life was to free the soul from the constraints of the physical world. To achieve this, They practiced a form of meditation that allowed them to focus on the eternal truths of the universe and to detach themselves from the distractions of everyday life. In addition to their beliefs about the soul, the Pythagoreans also had some pretty interesting beliefs about numbers. They believed that each number had its own unique properties, and that they could reveal the secrets of the universe if you knew how to interpret them. For example, they believed that the number 1 represented unity and that it was the source of all things. They also believed that the number 2 represented duality, and that it was the source of all conflict and strife. It should come as no surprise, then, that the Pythagoreans tried to avoid using the number 2 whenever possible. They even assigned mystical properties to the shapes formed by different numbers of points. For example, they believed that the equilateral triangle, which could be formed by 3 points, represented harmony and balance because it had 3 equal sides. They also believed that the square, which could be formed by 4 points, represented stability and order because it had 4 equal sides. These beliefs and practices may seem strange to us today, but they were actually quite common in the ancient world. In fact, many other cultures also had their own mystical beliefs and practices surrounding numbers and shapes. However, the Pythagoreans were unique in their dedication to mathematics and their belief in the power of numbers to unlock the secrets of the universe. While other cultures may have used numbers and shapes in their rituals and ceremonies, the Pythagoreans were the first to use them as a tool for understanding the world around us. Ultimately, the Pythagorean Brotherhood was an extraordinary group of people who made incredible contributions to human knowledge and understanding. Their beliefs and practices may seem strange to us today, but they were part of a larger cultural movement in the ancient world, celebrated the power of numbers and the mysteries of the universe. The Pythagoreans may have lived in silence, but their contributions to mathematics and philosophy continue to echo through the ages, and we are all the beneficiaries of their hard work and dedication. So the next time you look up at the stars or marvel at the beauty of a snowflake, remember the Pythagorean Brotherhood and their dedication to uncovering the secrets of the universe. They may have been a civilization that lived in silence, but their contributions to human knowledge have made them some of the loudest voices in history. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Also check out my new podcast available on various platforms. Thanks for watching.